Hello, welcome to our presentation on why you should choose the US and more specifically San Francisco as a new location for your tech-based company in the United States. This presentation is going to be accompanied with a handbook that will explain things in more details about why you should choose San Francisco as a great place for your location in the US. The biggest thing you need to worry about is infrastructure across the country to support your product. There's over 2,500 data centers in the country, and San Francisco is right in the middle of a big one, with Silicon Valley being right down the road. Government and independent companies have recently put a ton of money, literally billions of dollars, into hardware and software as a service to ensure that products can continue to grow and you can be right there in the center of all that. The top 10 tech companies in the US are in the West Coast, which is where San Francisco is. The only two that aren't actually in California within an hour's drive are going to be Microsoft and Amazon, but it's a short flight to Washington for you. You should have no problems getting there on any day. You also need to worry about tech use within the country. 80% of our households have broadband internet of some form. 90% of our adults own a smartphone and use them every single day. And 90% of people have reported that they regularly use the internet in their day to day lives. US salaries depend highly on the role and the position in the country where the role is. San Francisco is one of the most expensive places in the country to live. So salaries there are definitely always going to be higher than somewhere else in the country. But you can't undersell how important the location of San Francisco is. It's in the middle of the tech hub of the country. If you need somebody, you can hire them in San Francisco.
My name is Anna Fry, and I'll be going over the next few topics. Intellectual property. The U.S. is continuously adding or amending past acts, such as Protecting American Intellectual Property Act of 2022, which lists entities involved in theft, the Prevail Act, which makes sure a company is sued before they can challenge, and the Patent Eligibility Restoration Act of 2023, which provides a guide for tech and simplifies patent issues. Cybercrimes. Spoofing, ransomware, identity theft, and phishing. These are just a few threats, but danger can also come from employees. It is wise to keep that in mind. Cybercrime resources from departments in the U.S. include CISA, ECTF, ICE, HSI, C3, ITRC, FTC, and local law enforcement. These are the top resources provided by the U.S. The top 3 languages spoken in San Francisco include English, Chinese, and Spanish. Whether in a global workspace or competitive environment, being able to handle language barriers is key. By 2030, there should be a 24% growth for employment of interpreters and translators, and bilingual employees typically earn $1.22 to $2.33 more. Now, looking at the population of San Francisco, California, we can see the LEP and total population language for Chinese, Spanish, and for comparison, French. Now, the total employer establishments are 34,000, with 112 languages spoken in home.
Hi, my name is Mark Formosu, and today we're going to be talking about the strategic relocation of our French compatriots to San Francisco. We're going to start with the opportunities first. San Francisco houses a huge technological hub. Silicon Valley, already in San Francisco, is known for its culture of innovation, and San Francisco has a highly educated workforce, which will help with cutting edge research. Also, it has a huge global gateway. San Francisco acts as a strategic portal to the Asia Pacific markets with a strong transport, and logistics, and I believe our French compatriots are going to love that. It also has a huge economic and venture capital, although it has a huge high and operational cost. I believe the potential of growth is going to outweigh that, and with smart partnerships can ease the cost. Advanced IT infrastructure. San Francisco embraces top tier telecommunications, cloud services, and commitment to cybersecurity. And I believe our French computers are gonna also love that. Now we're gonna be talking about the challenges that they're gonna face. They're gonna have to face the legal frameworks, and I believe with the legal frameworks, they're gonna have to adhere to policies like the CCPA. And I believe our French computers are going to be able to battle that. Cultural integration, it's a little bit more casual over here, as in we have less formal business culture, but in France they have a little bit more strict business culture, and I believe they're gonna have to adjust to that. Also, the economic strategies, having to explore the government incentives and leveraging a wealthy market. I believe our French competitors are gonna have to deal with that, and I think they are gonna able to work with that. And global leadership, relocation as a step towards
This is Jerry, and the first topic I'll be covering is religion in the United States. So, roughly 80% of the US population falls into one religious category or another, the most common being Christianity, with Protestants making up about 40% of that, and Catholics making up another 20%. With about 60% of France belonging to the Catholic faith, the West is going to see about a third of this, with 23% of people claiming Catholic as their religion. Here at the bottom, we'll also see some religious versus non-religious statistics by region. Moving on, we'll cover the customs and greetings that you can expect in the United States. For the most part, things will be much more informal, maybe even strikingly so compared to France. Obviously, context is important. Initial introductions are typically going to consist of firm handshakes. Most meetings and business dealings will have kind of a warm feeling to them, with people smiling and looking for people to reciprocate that, as opposed to it being more dry or straight to dealing with business. Dress tends to be more business casual, but overdressing isn't necessarily a bad thing. And overall, time is money is kind of a popular sentiment in the business world. So when it comes to important topics of a meeting or discussion, there's not a whole lot of beating around the bush. People kind of get straight into things with a lot of focus on outcomes and results.